Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. Wednesday morning. We're playing a play-in game today, a do-or-die game against the Chicago Bulls. This is a big deal. No messing around. I came in even earlier because this is so important. 9:10 start today, just to get this serious. I mean, this is really big deal. Like, man, the games last night were weird and crazy. Oh, there's so much to talk about today. So we'll just start with the regular business right away off the start. Injury list. It's basically who's been hurt all year for both teams. Lonzo Ball out, Otto Porter Jr. out, everybody else available. So in some ways, what I'm going to do is go through the positions real quick and just look at their lineup compared to ours and kind of analyze maybe like where we may have advantages or where we may have problems. So let's look at their lineup. Right now, they are starting a very small starting five. They like to play DeRozan at power forward. So crazy. They play Vucevic. We'll start at the big part. Vucevic versus Pirtle. Now, Pirtle said in his interview yesterday that it was very good that he's had time on the Raptors against the Bulls. He did play the last game against the Bulls. That they did schedule the Bulls separated over the whole course of the season, which is good. But yeah, so he's had a look at playing the Bulls with Vucevic, and he said that this is important yesterday in his press conference because the Spurs do have a very different playing style than we do. And in some ways, he needed to see the Bulls on our team already in the regular season to help him prepare better to play Nikola Vucevic. Now, in this matchup, I see this as being pretty equal. In some ways, Vucevic's three is the one thing that really is kind of the annoying thing about him to me in this matchup, because what will happen is because Vucevic likes to shoot outside, he's going to draw Jakob out of the paint to guard our basket. If we that is, if we do man-to-man. If we do zone, then that won't happen. Then somebody else will have to come out and watch Vucevic. But the fact that he's a three-point shooter, that is something that we do need to watch out for in regards with Vuce. But otherwise, they really do kind of match up pretty even as far as the fight around the basket for rebounds and also just positioning and things like that. In the past, like I said earlier this season, there were games where Vucevic would dominate us down low because of his size against us, and we don't have to worry about that as much just because of Jakob Poeltl being on our team now. So in some ways, I really see this as an even matchup. There are offensive things that Vucevic can do that may be better than what Jakob can do, but Jakob can cancel him to a degree and also show some really good signs of things. So I don't see an advantage at center. I really do see both teams as being kind of very equal. All right, next position, DeMar DeRozan. And I guess in some ways he would be matched up with Pascal Siakam. Although, many would say, well, let's put OG on DeMar just to be careful and safe. But in some ways, I kind of like Siakam on DeRozan, because then you can put OG on Zach LaVine. And in some ways, on the down low, Zach LaVine is more dangerous than DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's the guy the Bulls like to go to and give the ball to first. And he really is like their number one. But LaVine is a different kind of role. He has this role, as Nick Nurse put it yesterday, as of kind of the guy who just hurries up and makes something happen when they're panicking. And this will happen a lot, I'm sure, with the Raptors defense being stifling and then difficult to beat, that often, they have to panic and use LaVine, and he's really good at getting open shots really quick at the last second of shot clocks, and just in general, making offense quickly. All of a sudden, he can generate offense, his own shot quickly. So in some ways, because he's like the emergency guy, I kind of like putting Siakam on DeRozan and putting OG on LaVine. And in some ways, that will be really, really good. And the reason why I don't put Scottie on either one of those two guys is because what you can do with Scottie on Caruso is really, really smart. It's really, really smart because Caruso is so small compared to Scottie. And in some ways, as long as he keeps track of him and he doesn't let him do anything too crazy, Scottie can be a roving defender in some ways. Fred on Patrick Beverley, that's a fine matchup. That's pretty even too in some ways, although Fred should be able to outscore Patrick Beverley. and he should. You should very much outscore him tonight, Fred. If you don't have more points than Patrick Beverley tonight, a lot of your haters are going to come out for you for sure. So, in some ways, our size against the Bulls is overpowering. And it is a huge part of the reason why Nick Nurse yesterday said he's super confident in his guys today. And he said, "How do you feel about your team?" Doug Smith asked him. And he said, "I feel real good about my team. I feel very confident in them that they're going to win." So, it'll be fun. It's going to be interesting tonight. It's a do or die. Probably the most important thing about this game tonight for both teams, and this was shown last night too in the games that were already played in the play-in, is who's going to show up and be for real and not casual. So who's going to show up and really put in that right consistent effort that's not going to lead to lapses of bad offense or really, really, really poor defense. It's really going to be who's going to be the most consistent, who's going to show up and going to show up is what I'm saying too. Now, the other factor could be this level, this playoff gear, this level of intensity and physicality that sometimes some teams, when they go into the playoff season, they just don't switch it on as quickly as the other team. And in some ways, because Chicago's more veteran than us, in fact, our guy's vet is on the other side. Fred and Pascal's vet, DeMar, is on the other side. They got to remember that lesson that, this is a totally different kind of game than a regular season game. This is a game that matters. And if you don't win it, you're done for the season. You're done. You're done for the whole fucking year. And in some ways, that needs to be respected. That needs to be respected in a way that I don't totally have confidence in the Raptors, because they don't respect the game in this kind of way at times, where they come with the right approach and right attitude. Last year in Game 6 against Philadelphia, they did not come to the game with that kind of attitude and approach and attacking it and taking it and making it theirs. And that is something we cannot afford today. Because if you don't come correct today, Raptors, you're done. You're done for the season. And, we'll react to it tomorrow. But hopefully you do win tonight, because you should. You're at home. You're on your home court. And in some ways, you beat them this series, this season. But both teams last night that won had won their season. Had lost the season series against the team they were against. That's right. Atlanta had lost the season series to Miami, but they beat them last night. And the Lakers had lost the season series to the Timberwolves, but they beat them last night. In fact, I want to talk about those games a little bit right now. Miami came out and had that effort, exactly what I was just talking about. They didn't come out to meet the moment. They didn't come out in that certain caliber of a really high caliber play that is, should be respected in a do or die kind of game like last night. Well, they get another chance, and it'll be on Friday. And Jimmy Butler said, whatever happens on Friday needs to be the exact opposite of what happened last night. And Kyle Lowry was a shining star. In fact, it was crazy. Kyle Lowry had his best game of the entire year last night in that play-in game. 33 points, no turnovers, fantastic game by Kyle, carrying water for them. And you know what, Miami Heat fan, this is what he's all about. He may be garbage for a good chunk of the season. He may disappoint you left and right during the season, but he will not disappoint you in the playoffs. If you give him a chance, he will go out there and do some good things. But he was the only one, and nobody else on that team could shoot. Max Strus, none of these guys could play worth the garbage. Victor Oladipo, where is your career gone, buddy? There's just so much bad stuff as far as the offense on the other side. And then the Hawks, the key for them really was these newer acquisitions. This Saddiq Bey was huge for them off the bench. Just a really, really good addition midway through the season, underrated addition to the Atlanta Hawks. And then you guys got Okongwu and Jalen Johnson just stepping up, getting solid bench contributions from 4 different guys, Bogdanovich, Johnson, Bey, and Okongwu. That is a huge part of the difference for this team, for the Atlanta Hawks, beating the Miami Heat on their own court in front of their own fans, with their Miami ref as the crew chief, John Goble. They still, in some ways, Atlanta didn't give them a chance because they beat them right from the start. They blew them out, and they stayed ahead of them the whole time. In some ways, Atlanta ref hit job proofed the game so that they couldn't do any screwy shit to try and hand the game to Miami at the last second. In some ways, I could speculate some shit if I'm script writing for the NBA and what they want. They don't want the Heat to play the Celtics in the first round. That's a horrible matchup for the Celtics and not fun. It's like a grudge match, and it's not fun. It's dangerous for the Celtics. So if the NBA wants to protect the Celtics and give them a longer run in the playoffs, of course they will want to get Atlanta to play them instead. And that is a way better matchup for the Celtics against the Hawks. I hope the Hawks can make some noise and mess them up, maybe. Because once again, I have a bounty on the Celtics. And if the Hawks can put them out in the first round, hell yeah, I'll wear some Hawks gear on this channel. I'm all about that. Now, the other game is very fishy. Once again, something very screwy happening in the late game. Minnesota dealing and kicking their ass, and Lakers looking shitty. But Anthony Edwards not showing up and doing anything, seeming like he's hurt. D'Angelo doing very poorly against his whole old team for the Lakers also. Just not really good. In fact, the Lakers needed help. Oh, the poor little Lakers needed help last night. I'm going to tell you exactly how they got help. David Guthrie, crew chief of that game, handed the game on a platter to the Lakers at the end of the game. You want to know how, guys? I'll tell you exactly. This is a guy named John Krasinski. He's not the guy from The Office, but he has the same name. He's saying that this, in the second half, the free throw attempts in the second half and overtime, the Lakers got 17 free throw attempts in the second half. I'm talking about the third quarter, the fourth quarter, and the overtime period. 17 free throws for the Lakers. How many do you think the Timberwolves got in the whole half and the overtime? They got 3 free throws, and they were the 3 free throws that Mike Conley shot with 0.1 seconds to go in regulation. Those were the only damn 3 free throws that the referees gave the Timberwolves in the second half. You tell me if there's ref manipulation to help a certain team get through the play-in finally. They need that hand holding because the Lakers fail in the play-in and they're out all the time. So they need that hand holding. So how does Adam Silver make sure the Lakers get a playoff spot, make sure they win that first play-in game? By doing a ref hit job on the Minnesota Timberwolves and not giving them any kind of contact foul calls at all. None whatsoever in the second half. David Guthrie, I'm on to you, man. You're a fishy ref at this point. You're a very fishy ref to me. In fact, it's funny. They announced the NBA referees for the playoffs, and it's a who's who of the worst fucking refs in the whole fucking league. It's like, Ben Taylor, you get rewarded for your bullshit? All these motherfuckers are on there. Scott Foster, Ed Malloy, Tony Brothers, all the fucking most notorious refs are on the roster for the playoffs for the NBA refs. Meanwhile, not a single female ref has been picked to ref in the playoffs. There's 3 in the alternates. But yeah, they're not going to get used. In some ways, the alternates are pretty good because, listen, you get a 4th ref assigned to every game just in case one of the refs gets sick. And they get paid because they have to be there, but they don't even have to run up and down the court or do nothing. So the 4th ref is getting paid and gets to be there, but they get a cushy job. They don't even have to fucking do anything usually, unless they have to because somebody has to not referee. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff last night. Good job holding LeBron's hand to get his playoff spot against the Memphis Grizzlies NBA. Good job at that. Yeah, you feel proud of yourself? That dude is so pathetic that the Lakers can't win better than that in a game like that. Seriously, y'all needed that much help, and you oh my gosh, the fouls at the end of the game, you idiots. Karl Anthony Towns can't do everything, and you know what? If the refs are going to call the whistle and take him out of the game, of course they're going to lose. So yeah, referees, good job helping the Lakers beat the Timberwolves last night. That's what the script in the NBA wants. They want the Lakers to go in the playoffs. No LeBron, no money, baby. So it's a big part of it. Seriously. You don't think that's a big part of it? 17 free throws versus 3 at the end of the game in a close game? You don't think 17 more attempts to take easy shots from a free throw line against 3 is a big deal? It's a very big deal. And your hand holding of LeBron is disgusting, NBA, because I can fucking see right through it. I can see right fucking through it. Yeah. All right. Tonight. Yeah. Big deal. We got a big game tonight against the Bulls. I wanted to do a little review last night real quick. Let me talk about this real quick. I want to go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the way before I get to y'all's comments. We have our ref crew for tonight. And listen, it's not a horrible ref crew. In fact, they statistically all favor us. But the head crew chief of the refs, wants to be the mayor of Chicago. That is on his list. James Williams is our crew chief today. He is his 14th season as an NBA ref. He's the ref who rode around on the little scooter in the game recently. Remember, it was a little ref on a ATV. He's the one who got to ride the little four-wheeler around on the court, and everybody laughed at him when everybody's kind of getting mad at the refs. He's trying to bring brevity to the situation. He is from Memphis, but he now lives in Chicago, Illinois. And as I said, his bucket list is to become the mayor of Chicago. Well, how can James Williams ingratiate himself to the voters real fast? Put him in a do or die game in the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors tonight. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't understand why he would put that on the fun fact list for the NBA official report. Why would you do this? Because it makes it seem like you have a bias, bro, that you want to become the mayor of Chicago. Even if you want to do that, you could pick so many different other things to put on your bucket list thing on here than that one. But because it just seems like his bias, bro. His favorite TV show is Snowfall. He likes the Shawshank Redemption, like 20 other refs. His favorite book is 1619. His favorite meal is soul food. So we got to get this man some soul food. His favorite app is Ref Masters. He'd most like to visit Africa. His hidden talent is throwing a baseball. And as I said, his bucket list is to become the mayor of Chicago. Oh my gosh. James Williams is our crew chief. And let me just tell you about his record with us. We have a 54% winning record with James Williams. We did win the last game that he refereed for us this season, and the Bulls win 52%. So we are actually favored by him historically, 54 to 52. It's a very close split, and he's one of the worst refs for us today out of all the refs that are involved. The second ref is Kevin Scott from Tennessee. Or no, from Georgia. He's from Flowery Branch, Georgia, in South Carolina. His favorite TV show is 48 Hours. He also likes the Shawshank Redemption. What is it with these referees? They're like half-ass cops or something like that. Or maybe they think they're prison guards or something. I don't fucking know. Favorite musician, Eric Church. Favorite book, Friday Night Lights. His favorite app is the Weather Channel. He'd most like to visit the Great Barrier Reef. He'd like to go on an African safari. And his hidden talent is facial recognition. Once again, he can figure out who you are from looking at your face. And that's pretty good for a ref. Refs need to know that. So you know where LeBron is, so you're not calling fouls on him. Favorite meal, cheese pizza. This is the guy who likes the cheese pizza. He's a referee who sounds like George W. Bush when he gets on the mic. The Toronto Raptors have challenged the foul call. You know, he's the one who sounds like that. He's annoying. So yeah, Kevin Scott, we win 55% of the time when he's refereeing, and the Bulls win 50% of the time. We lost the last game Kevin Scott refereed for us this season. So we are favored by Kevin Scott 55 to 50 in that matchup. They're all very close and very mid, the records today. The third ref is our favorite ref today. It's Mitchell Ervin. His favorite musician is Drake. He is from Houston, Texas. His favorite TV show is Power. His favorite movie is Coming to America. His favorite book is Between the World and Me. His favorite meal is char-grilled oysters. His favorite app, TikTok. He'd most like to visit Dubai, and his bucket list is skydiving. So we got cheese pizza, char-grilled oysters, and soul food on the menu today for the three refs in the refereeing the game. Mitchell Ervin is a fantastic ref for us. He's our favorite ref today. We win 60% of our games when he's around. We did win the last game he ref this season. And the Bulls win 45% of the time when he's around. So 60-45, the split for the third ref, Mitchell Ervin. So he is our good luck ref tonight and our friend. So be nice to Mitchell, Raptor players. There is a fourth ref who's an alternate. Yeah, this is how they do things in the playoffs. Ray Acosta is the fourth ref. He won't probably get out there. Sixth season out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. He now lives in Lake Worth, Florida. His favorite TV shows: Sopranos, Scarface, Michael Jackson, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, anything Italian, Netflix, Fiji, being a Shark Tank surrounded by great whites in the Australia, and dancing. I just did them without the categories. Ray Acosta. Record-wise, we win 53% of our games, and we won the last game he reffed, And meanwhile, for the Bulls, they only win 28% under Ray Acosta. So he would actually be a good upgrade if he came in over any other refs, maybe other than Mitch or Ervin. But if we could have Ray Acosta instead of Kevin Scott or James Williams today, that would be great. So 53-28 is the split for the Raptors. So all four referees statistically favor the Raptors today as far as the win percentages and stuff like that. But like I said, James Williams aspires to be the mayor of Chicago. That seems like a conflict of interest, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem like a conflict of interest? Now, is Drake going to be at the game tonight? Because that could be a major influence for Mitchell Ervin, since he's such a big Drake fan. So, yeah, there's your ref report. Oh, it's not horrible. It could be worse. We could have like one of those really bad ones, like Scott Foster or Ed Malloy. But no, we don't have them now. Thank goodness. Hopefully, we won't have them. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. It's good to see y'all filling it up this morning and see what's going on in the Raptor Freak world. Monique is here first. Good to see Superfan Monique Lawrence. Happy play-in tournament day. So pumped. I'll be there soaking it all in. So much to talk about, et cetera, et cetera. How's everyone feeling? Interviews were great in my books. And congratulations again, Duke Rocks. Thank you, Monique, for such a great opening statement. Yes, it is play-in day. Play-in day is nerve-wracking, crazy, a little scary. Very final. Some of the things that happen, either you win or you lose, and that's that. It's just what it is. In fact, in some ways, historically, the people that are in our seed as the ninth seed don't usually get through the play-in. Usually the team in the ninth seed does not get through it. So we'll have to see how things go for us. Maybe we can have some really special things happen. You know, tonight we need to really take it seriously, DeMar versus Toronto, as far as like we need to beat him and not have any sentimentality, not have any like, a nice heart. We need to be very hard-hearted and be very, very cold and cutthroat and beat DeMar and have no I kind of feel bad for him. We need to just fucking want to beat him. And beat him you shall. I mean, seriously, this is like Grasshopper going up against the teacher in a Kung Fu movie. Fred and Pascal and OG. You guys are going against the old sensei. The guy, it's like if Splinter got attacked by the Ninja Turtles. He's Splinter. DeMar is Splinter. And you guys are Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Pirtle, Fred, Pascal, and OG. You guys had him as your sensei before. Now it's time for you to fight sensei and beat his ass. And I'm hoping you will. I really am. I'm feeling okay. I'm feisty. If you haven't noticed, Monique, I'm feisty. Oh, I'm feisty. It's a kind of a feisty day. I'm going to do my workout and hopefully work out some of the nervous energy, the excited energy about today. And hopefully everything will go according to plan for the Raptors and Nick Nurse's strategy to help us win this game. And the guys will go out there and put a good effort and execute the game plan in an efficient, effective way that comes out with that big W, because that's what we want, right? That's what we want, right? We want to beat the Bulls and live for another day to go see Mr. Lowry on Friday in the Miami Heat arena. Ooh, I'll tell you right now, if we can get past Chicago tonight, Miami's showing signs that they're too old. We were talking about it last night. And that the South Florida retirement home is looking kind of old after the performance they put in against the Hawks last night. That they may be done. Like they may not have juice. It could be we beat Chicago tonight and we go down to Miami and we kick Kyle Lowry's ass also in the Heat. And that would be so poetic and some sort of like some people are saying it's Shakespearean. The storylines written in this play-in bracket with the Raptors and their former Raptor players. It's very Shakespearean. I don't want it to be a tragedy for the Raptors. It's going to be a tragedy for our former Raptors. And we'll have a comedy and we'll laugh about it. That's what I want to see. Yeah, that's what I want to see. All right. The interviews were pretty good yesterday. Nick Nurse was fiery. Nick Nurse was saying things like, I really believe in my team. We're going to do great. I have full confidence in them. Jakob Poeltl, very matter of fact. In fact, the audio people for Raptors.com, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, you're really phoning it in at the end. Some people have been critical of the OG makes the steals graphic and saying it's too basic. And it's like they're phoning it in. Like the intern's on the end of his like career with them. And he's like just phoning it in. And then the audio people, what the fuck is wrong with our press conferences? Why can't y'all get microphones for the reporters? And why can't you not fucking play Pascal Siakam's interview over Jakob Poeltl's interview? It just doesn't look professional. Y'all need some better people in your AV room. down there at the OVO Center or the Scotiabank Arena in the interview rooms, because it is not right. And thank you to Duke Rocks. Yes, Monique, bringing up Duke Rocks, winning our fantasy basketball season. I want to make an official announcement right now that Duke Rocks won the Yahoo Fantasy Basketball League for this channel. And then in second, we had Omari Parsons, Duppy Conquerors, come in second, overtaking Tom Duke at the last second. And then not only that, Tom Duke and David Saborin tied for third at the thing. David snuck up there and got a third place trophy, tied with Tom Duke for third. Well, yesterday, I ventured out of my house on the TTC to go see Duke Rocks and give him his prize for the season personally. It was so fun. It was so weird, y'all. First of all, I get on the bus near my house to go to give the jersey to Duke, and I get on the bus, and somebody on the bus recognizes me from this channel. This has never ever happened to me in public in Toronto yet. I've gone to games this season. I walked all over the city. And yesterday, for the very first time, a stranger out of the blue said, "Hey, I know you from YouTube." And it was on the bus, and it was crazy. And he was a great fan. This guy named Nino. It was on the bus. He's not somebody who actively participates in our chat. He just watches us. And he said, "Dude, I love your show. I enjoy watching all the time." I appreciated running into a fan out of the blue on the bus. I've never had that happen. And it was surreal and weird. And I appreciate meeting you yesterday, Nino, on the bus and talking to you for a bit and stuff like that. It was really weird. I've never ever had that happen until yesterday. And it was kind of like not a defining moment, but like a very weird moment for me. I get on the bus and somebody recognizes me from my YouTube channel. That's all right. I'm not upset about that. So I get out there and I give the jersey to Jason. That's his real name, Duke Rocks. What a nice guy. What an amazing dude. And just the perfect person to win. He did such a good job. In fact, he told me he hadn't played fantasy basketball before. He just listened to my advice at the beginning of the season, and that's how he won. He listened to the things I said about how to run your team, and he did it to a T. And that is how he won the season. Fantastic stuff by Duke Rocks. Bravo, sir. Getting that jersey. I hope you saw the goodies I put in there, the little extras in there with the certificate of authenticity in there. And thank you once again, Isaac Campbell, for the donation. If you guys want to see the picture, it's posted on the channel of when I gave the Vince Carter jersey to Duke. The signed UNC Vince Carter jersey was the prize, and it went to Duke. So great to meet him. And honestly, I once again, as more I meet people in real life here in Toronto, we're gonna do stuff and like have events and hang out and stuff like that. So, Duke, really good to meet you in person. Finally, that was so awesome. All right, let's see. Monique's also saying Saga's own Letitia Amihere, the number 8 pick for the Atlanta Dream. Yes, WNBA draft this week. And a young lady from Mississauga got drafted to the Atlanta Dream. Congratulations to you, Miss Amihere, and I hope you have a great, fantastic career in the WNBA. The WNBA getting more shine in this draft cycle, more people talking about it, more credentials to press, more interest. It is building. The WNBA is coming up and getting more solid footing as getting more attention. And this is the way it should be. It sounds exciting. I mean, Brittany Griner is going to write a book about her time in Russia and the Gulag. And, you have this thing with Caitlin and the LSU team and everything like this. There's so much drama and good stuff happening in women's basketball that it is getting interest. And then, of course, we have our fantastic game here next month, preseason WNBA game in Toronto. Yeah, this on the rise. If you want that slingshot to get the WNBA in more prominence, your league will do very well to put the franchise here in Toronto. Trust me, you will do very well if you put that WNBA team here in Toronto, and you will get more of a spotlight, get more legitimized, and more of a prominent spotlight in general in the sports world. So, all right, let's see. Jimmy Pope is here. Good to see the Pope of positivity. Go Raptors. Hope these guys step up to the plate. Hope you have a blast. Mo, you represent the best part of our fandom. Props to you. Yes, that is so true, Jimmy. Monique is such a good luck person to have at the arena. We need you down there, Mo, bringing the vibes. and bringing the goodness and hobnobbing with all your friends and just letting that energy flow into the court. And hopefully these guys come and take it very seriously. I think they will. It's that kind of thing where it's like, if you do this for your work, for your life, and you put so many hours into everything, these are those kind of defining games, the do or die elimination game. And this is kind of what you prepare everything for your whole life for, is for these kind of games. So I really do hope that these guys are taking this very, very seriously. OG's so funny in his interviews. He's so kind of aloof and kind of like doesn't seem like he cares. But he's saying, yeah, it's important that we get these 2 days to prepare and time to look at the tape and look at these guys and really get to know what our game plan is going to be and be ready for it. They've had really good success with some of the scheming they did against the Bulls this season. So I expect them to do more of the same of what was successful this season already, with a little extra oomph and energy and passion put into it. But yeah, we match up pretty good with the Bulls. But once again, the trend so far in the play-in is it doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. The team that lost the regular season has been beating the other team. And if that's the case, then they, I don't think the refs are going to totally hit job us tonight. I really do hope they don't. I mean, Mitchell Ervin, like I said, I trust him. I don't totally trust Kevin Scott and James Williams, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Monique saying, guard Vucevic's threes. Well, please. Yes. And yes. Listen, it's the kind of thing where like maybe you give him the first one, and if he makes it, then you really come out and guard him. But if he misses the first one, maybe you let him shoot him and kind of lay off of him and let him settle for threes outside. It's that kind of thing with him to a degree. But, in most cases, you want to get a hand up in his face. Space Cadet saying, was really hoping to face Atlanta. Don't know if the league will let Miami lose multiple games on national television. Well, it may not even be up to them. They may even prop them up and help them. And they're just at a certain point with who they are and their makeup and things that they're just dysfunctional as far as like getting far. They may look good on paper or the idea of them, but in reality, there's a lot of things about their team that just doesn't work. There's been reasons why Jimmy Butler walked off the court before the game ended. There's been reasons why, Udonis Haslem wanted to fight people in huddles last year. This team is not totally right. And in some ways, I feel like Haslem leaving is part of it because he doesn't really get along with Butler and Lowry, I think that that's part of the problem. In some ways, the leadership is cloudy because Haslem's hung around for so long. And then Lowry and Butler really want to be the people in charge, but Haslem, old man, is there, and he does things different than how Lowry and Butler do. And in some ways, that's where the divide is. So there's a lot of issues with Miami that aren't exactly right. Not to mention their shooters aren't hitting anything. They're cold, and they're undersized, and they're old. So in some ways, I don't know how to gauge this, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. We got to take care of DeMar and the Bulls first right now, today. And then if we survive that, then we'll start talking about Miami and Lowry on Friday. But it's crazy. Who wrote this shit that the Raptors got to play their two greats, the two guys that are probably going to retire their jerseys and put them in the rafters in the play-in like this? To have to play these two guys like this. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey Salsera. Good morning, family. Let's go tonight and represent on national TV. We can expect a hard matchup, especially with DeMar playing. And yes, Lex, we need to come correct. That's right. Don't embarrass the country of Canada. Don't embarrass the 416. Don't embarrass the Toronto Raptors organization, Raptors. You guys are going to be on national television in the States. Everybody's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be watching. So make us look good. We may have had a very bad season in different ways and look mid, but we made it to 500 and we've had shining spots. We want to look good in front of the whole entire NBA world. So show up and put in a good effort and play at the highest level that you can. And less mistakes, just good stuff happening. Make your shots. This could be a very important key tonight. Is who's going to make their shots more, because both teams have bad time shooting sometimes, and the team that makes more of their shots is going to win tonight. That was very much a factor for Atlanta and Miami yesterday. Atlanta was making their shots and Miami wasn't, and that's pure and simple the reason why the Atlanta Hawks beat the Miami Heat last night. So we need to make our shots. Make your shots tonight. Gary Trent Jr., you go. Get off that bench and fill it up for the Raptors real quick, right off the bench. Please just hit those threes and do what you do, Gary. We could really, really use your help tonight for sure. But yeah, we need to come correct. That is definitely true. And don't embarrass us on national television, Raptors. Play up to snuff. You know how these big time games go. You know, big cojones, Frederico. Come on, big cojones. Show what you mean when you say, I'm not afraid to take the big shot in the spotlight in the game, the big game 6 to stop elimination. Show us that, Fred. Show us that eye of the tiger and meet your challenge of your rivals and come out there and take it to DeMar and the rest of them. And know that, like, listen, this is another thing, Fred. That's your hometown team, the Bulls. You want to beat the Bulls, man. You want to send all your Rockford friends who root for the Bulls and tell them to shut up and say, like, yeah, I beat them. Haha, I beat Rockford's team, Chicago. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. All right, let's keep going. Mike is saying, salute the real ones. Project Truth always. Things are going to be interesting. First against DeRozan, then maybe against Lowry. The Raptors playing is going to be interesting. Let's go. Yeah, it's just high drama. It's script writing. In some ways, the NBA may have tried to steer it towards this the whole time this season by fucking around with Miami, Chicago, and Toronto. Let's like get them all in the play-in and have some interesting subplot drama. It's kind of like in the sitcom. You have a main characters who have a main storyline going on, and then you have secondary characters who have a little mini problem with what is going on with their plot. We're kind of the subplot. We're kind of the secondary characters because it's the play-in, and the big enchiladas are going to be the whole playoffs and all the drama from the matchups there. We're like the little appetizer before the Raptors drama with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. This is like the appetizer to the main course. This is how the NBA looks at it. Well, we want to get through these appetizers, eat them up real good, yum, 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 and then get to the main course and make some noise against the Milwaukee Bucks Raptors. But we're going to have to go through two old friends to get there. And man, oh man, the drama is high. And this is exactly what the NBA wanted. Could they have scripted it better? Could they have scripted it better? And I bet you they did script it. They bet you they did script this shit. Oh, yeah. Randolph's here. Good to see Randolph Phillips, beloved Raptor freaks. Most informative game. I have mixed feelings about tonight's game. I really want us to be in the lottery by losing tonight, but wonder if we could win Friday. You know, we can't. This is the whole thing. I described this whole season. Teams that are caught on the subway platform, one foot on the platform and one on the train, are going to be in trouble because they didn't go fully for Wemby and stayed on the platform, and they didn't fully get going on the train. They get caught in the door, and they kind of, and then maybe they're ripped right in half. I don't know. In some ways, that kind of phenomena is dangerous because you're too mid. You're not good enough to get a really high draft pick. I mean, you're not bad enough to get a really high draft pick, and you're not good enough to go deep in the playoffs. And that's kind of where we are with a lot of other teams right around us. But in some ways, Randolph is expressing a feeling of that. In some ways, we're like, I don't want us to win. In some ways, I do want us to win. I very much want us to win. You know, I'm not with this as far as like wanting to be better in the lottery. Fuck that shit. We don't care about draft picks. I want us to win. This is a situation where one team has to win, one team has to lose. And I want the team that has to win, that will win, to be the Toronto Raptors. Fiercely saying Kyle is the only one who showed up yesterday. If that is the Miami version we can face on Friday, I'm very confident in our chances to win. You know, it could be a couple of things. I mean, they're going to have a mulligan. They have a mulligan, and they could have a wake-up call. There could be a lot of crazy things said in the Miami locker room over the next couple of days. You know, Jimmy Butler's not going to have it. You know, there's going to be a lot of different reasons why that team may be very dangerous to play on Friday. But I agree. There's some things about Miami, they're broken. And if anybody can go there and beat them, I mean, we kicked their ass all season. It wasn't even like the season before where we had triple overtime. We were actually handling them so well that they couldn't really do anything with us for most of the games this season. So in some ways, I really do like our chances against them. But we got to finish the plate in front of us first before we can go ask for seconds. So we got to finish our plate right now. MSJ saying, I think the pick you put up is right. Can OG slow down DeMar? And yes, it could be the NBA is rigging the playoff brackets last minute. I swear the NBA is just bent. Yeah, it's all funny. I look at all the weird lenses of everything and what they would want and their motives. And I look at how the teams are playing and different things are happening with them. And like I said, watching how many free throws people get in certain situations can really tell you something. 17-3. NBA, we're watching you. And David Guthrie, you seem like you're a fishy ref now. We just had you recently, and in some ways you did a little bit of a low-key ref hit job on us. High under detected. A lot of people wouldn't notice it, but I did. And I'll bet you did do some shenanigans last night against the Timberwolves. If Timberwolf fans are feeling like the whistle was unfair towards Karl Anthony Towns and that he had to be taken out of the game because of foul trouble, yeah, that's a big, huge way that they manipulate things, especially when their important player, Edwards, is cold and he's not making anything. Well, you take their best weapon otherwise out in foul trouble. That's what I'm saying. It's not like the Lakers played out of their minds. Most of their bench was garbage, and it really was LeBron and AD carrying as much as possible. So, all right, let's keep going. Fiercey saying Memphis will take care of the Lakers. I'm not worried. I love this too, Fiercey. It's like Dylan Brooks. He had this weird, crazy look to him, like Eric Andre from like season 4 of his show, with his hair all straightening down, and he's like coming out, and he's like looking like a pimp and just a badass. Like he would bitch slap somebody, like like he was crazy. And he's saying in the interview, it's like, I want LeBron. This guy is awesome. I'm a huge fan of his now. I think he's crazy. And in some ways, everybody hates him so much, but I like him because he's a Mississauga kid. And this dude, all right, listen, let's think about it this way. He was a kid growing up in Toronto during Lebronto era. And now he's like calling for that smoke. How hard can you be? Dylan Brooks is crazy. He's like, he lived in Toronto during Lebronto era, and he is all about going after LeBron now. In some ways, I'm like, go Dylan. Go get some revenge for the GTA from Lebronto era and when you were a kid and sitting in this city and watching those playoffs with DeMar and Kyle against LeBron. Yeah, you go do it, Dylan. Get some revenge against them. Put them out in the first round. I would love to see that, Grizzlies. Ja Morant, keep your head focused on basketball and put those Lakers out, even though that's not what the NBA wants. Be so good that they could try and cheat and try and help them all they want, and it doesn't matter because Memphis is going to beat them anyway. I want that so bad. Please put the Lakers out. Please put the Lakers out, Dylan Brooks. I am all about that so much. Oh, my gosh. Isaac's here. Good to see Isaac Campbell, the benevolent Isaac Campbell. Once again, thank you for your donations. The prize going to Duke Rocks, a very, very good candidate, somebody who earned it by playing such a good job on the fantasy league this year. And really, really great person to have that jersey at this point, Isaac. LeBron should have fouled out with 1 minute and 15 seconds left in overtime. He fouled Ant while shooting. I didn't actually watch the game. All I do is looked at the stats, and I'm listening to what people are saying afterwards. And I think that free throw discrepancy is just so apparent. Yeah, he's not. They're not going to foul him out. He's money. They got to keep him on the court. He could have probably fouled out. Any other regular player would have fouled out in that moment, but not LeBron. That's what I'm saying. They hold his hand and they look out for him. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Dr. Kyle Lowry got the last laugh on Heat fans. Was happy to see they clowned him all season. Lakers won due to 20 fouls on Wolves. They got Raptorized. We know the deal. See, Cool Cat's calling it out too. There was a ref hit job done on the Timberwolves last night. This is Raptors fan just saying this. Any Timberwolves fan who comes here and just happens to see this, know that Raptors fan is with you and understands how the ref screwed y'all over last night. Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I love that Lowry had such a huge game when it mattered the most and nobody else showed up for them. I mean, Heat fan, how are you feeling today about Kyle Lowry? What is your opinion of him? It must really go up and down in really weird ways. It is that way. We understand. Raptors Nation was that way with him too, where we would be like very down on him and then all of a sudden very up on him because of things like last night. So yeah, that is Lowry. That's what you get from him. In fact, I said this a week ago. Miami Heat fans, you're going to find out why you love having Kyle Lowry on your team next week. And I was right. He's the only one who showed up. No turnovers. I love that so much by Kyle. He really was a badass last night. It was so awesome. Mike saying classic Lowry was special to see last night. Lowry went dog mode and started taking over, shooting a great clip when Bam and Butler were ineffective. Lowry was turning the clock back last night. Yeah. But even then, like you can see that Miami's not a complete team like Atlanta is. Atlanta has a lot of different weapons and they're deep. And they've got all kinds of different kind of good athletic guys. In some ways, they're on the down low, very dangerous. I think Boston might take them lightly. In fact, a lot of Celtics nations really happy that things happened the way they did last night because they wanted Atlanta. Be careful what you want. Seriously, Trae Young is a little bit of a special player, and DeJounte's funny. This is what happened before the game. This is hilarious. On Twitter, the Atlanta Hawks press corps, like the people who covered the team, they all voted on who they thought would win the game last night, and all 17 of them thought the Heat would win. And they posted the tweet before the game. This is the Atlanta Hawks' own people. Well, DeJounte replied to the after the game and said, "Y'all didn't even believe in us," and started laughing at them. Like, it's kind of really crazy that the press for the Hawks didn't believe in them. And then there's a player clowning them on Twitter afterwards. This is the world that we live in social media and interconnectedness. That in some ways, that is like real time, put on public display reaction from a player clowning the press for not believing in them. In some ways, that's so gangster, and I appreciate the Hawks did beat them in some ways just because nobody thought they could, and that they did anyway. That's kind of really impressive in a lot of ways. Let's see, Nako's here. Good to see Gerald. I take Memphis over both the Lakers and the T-Wolves. Hoping Sacramento gets to the end. Between us, the Heat, and the Bulls, I think the Bucks want to see us the least. Yeah, that's probably true. That is probably true. I think that they probably do want to see us the least, Milwaukee. If you ask them, they probably tell you that. I bet you Giannis would tell you that. I like that you're saying Memphis over the Lakers and the T-Wolves. Who's going to win these games today? We got to win ours so we can play on Friday. And then the other one is the Pelicans and the who's the other team? Pelicans and oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. It's why am I blanking so bad right now? It's the Pelicans and the Thunder. That's right. Of course, it's the Thunder. The Pelicans and the Thunder. And then the winner of that one will go and play the Timberwolves in Minnesota. So Minnesota is going to get another chance. Now, will Rudy Gobert be back from suspension for the game on Friday? I mean, this is crazy. In some ways, Minnesota is doing crazy shit in situations where there's a lot of like crazy confusion around their team because of weird stuff. Like Kyle Anderson didn't play good last night. He had a weird, he didn't shoot as well as he normally does in the game for Minnesota. But yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be crazy. Let Me Cook's here. All right, let's see Let Me Cook. Good luck tonight, Raptor freaks. You deserve recognition for how dedicated you are to the Raps. I hope you and the rest of the freaks get in the playoffs. Let's go. All right, Let Me Cook. That's Philadelphia fan telling us to get ready and let's go. You guys have a good matchup against the Brooklyn Nets. In some ways, you guys kind of have an easy matchup. And I fully expect you guys to take care of the Nets. But if the Nets mess you up, I won't be upset either. But I really do think y'all will beat them. I appreciate that you're rooting for us, and hopefully we will get through the play-in. I know that in some ways it's selfish because we'll be in the other side of the bracket and we'll get to play, take out some of the big people if we are involved with them, like Milwaukee, maybe. Who knows? He would be real happy if the Raptors could get through the play-in and get in the first round and put out the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. Yeah, I think you'd be very happy about that, Let Me Cook. So I can see why you would root for us. Callie's here. Good to see Callie Mayer. I'm nervous for this game. I believe we can win if we can shoot threes decently. That is very true. In fact, that may be one of the key things in this whole game. Who's going to hit threes tonight? Who's going to guard the threes and stop the threes the most? And who's going to make the most threes? In some ways, we need our guys all hands on deck. These guys who have been not shooting the three well recently, like Fred and OG, they got to wake up and start making their threes again tonight. This is not the game to be messing up. In fact, Fred, take some leadership from Kyle from last night and show up and show a game like Kyle did last night. That's what Kyle does in these kind of situations. Well, you do it, Fred. You do it tonight. You're the Kyle Lowry of our team now. We want you to do Kyle Lowry things tonight. How about it? Let's see it. We don't want Callie stressed out, so she's cussing a lot, and her dog is getting stressed. No stress meter tonight, please. Fun Guy's here. Good to see Fun Guy. I hope you had a fantastic time at the last game of the season on Sunday against Milwaukee. What a great first game to go to, Fun Guy. Oh my gosh. Man, we cannot have Jakob on Vucevic much because he spreads the floor. Nick realized and barely played him against the Bulls, but I'm scared of Precious out there instead in a big game. Oh my God, man, what to do? Well, go to zone and just have Jakob stay at home in the middle and have the other guys come out and meet Vucevic. We have enough tall guys that they can, irritate his shot. It's not like if we have, we don't have too many short guys like Fred. And so, like, if Scott's our shooting guard, he can run out and guard and get at Vucevic on the outside. So it really is not doing man-to-man. It may be that we have to do a combination of man and zone at different times, depending on what's going on. But yeah, that's what I would do. And I think I remember you're right that we had to take Jakob out of that game for periods of time just because Vucevic possibly was hurting us like that. But I still think it's a pretty even matchup, and that hopefully Jakob can make up for things on the other end offensively to counterbalance him to a degree, because Vucevic is a really good offensive center and he will collect a lot of points. And Jakob has not been getting a lot of points recently, but he can try and score and do stuff and keep them honest. So maybe we do need to feed Jakob to a degree and get him some easy baskets, at least try and get him to 10 points. That would probably be smart. Trevor's saying, good morning. I saw the injustice last night to get the Lakers that win. What a terrible job, referees. They might try to do that to us too. I know. I worry about this, Trevor. Well, we can only do what we can do. That's why we have to play so exceptionally well. You play so exceptionally well that the refs can't hit job you and put you out. It's just how it works. It's like if you're so overwhelmingly good, how the hell are they going to railroad you? They'd have to do something like what they did to the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber and them. And it was so blatantly obvious that we're railroading things that they got in trouble. So they can't do that. So if you win it right on your own merit because you are absolutely perfect, they can't hit job you. And that is the key. That is the key in these kind of situations where there's a danger of this. You have to absolutely be perfect. And then the referees can't manipulate to a degree. That's why I say a good thick layer of maple syrup, 100% Canadian maple syrup, get a double-digit lead, Raptors, so that if there's any kind of shenanigans late in the game, they can only manipulate things within like 5 to 7 points. So if you can keep that 2 or 3 possession lead, then you have much better chance of surviving any kind of fuckery from James Williams and Kevin Scott. So, yeah. Let's see. MSJ saying hidden talent of facial recognition. I know. That's Bob. That's Jack. That's Mitzi. But I wonder if like Kevin Scott plays a lot of Guess Who. You remember that game, MSJ? Maybe that's what it is. It's like, does he have a mustache? Is he bald? He probably plays Guess Who. So his hidden talent is playing Guess Who. Facial recognition. Yeah, something like that. I love that old game, Guess Who. Guess Who was fun. Some people make like personalized versions of Guess Who where they put people that they know, like their friends and family, on the game. And then you play it that way. That's kind of fun. Or you could put celebrities on there or something. In some ways, that's easier. It's better when they're just nondescript, anonymous cartoon characters that aren't real people, like that game is Guess Who. I'm just going to say that Kevin Scott is like a Guess Who champion because he has facial recognition as his talent. I know, it's weird. It's like, in some ways, if you can't recognize people's faces, isn't that an early sign of dementia or something like that? Maybe you need to be able to recognize people and stuff like that. I don't know. MSJ saying, what? As you have talked on these refs all year, I swear, some feel as though they are simple-minded people. You know, in some ways, their attitudes and their egos and the way they act as a whole is very fraternalistic, like police. They in some ways they're the most public kind of like bullshit kind of entity, just like policemen are. There's in fact some of the referees are former policemen, but the culture of the refs is very much like cops. And there's probably good cops and dirty cops that work for them. And it's very much the same thing. And in fact, because there's some dirty cops, Scott Foster, that are still around, it sullies the whole bunch, just like the police. It's like they can say, oh, they're not all bad. There's some good ones. Yeah, I believe you, Bill Kennedy. But there are bad ones too, and the other good ones, the ones that see the bad ones, don't say anything. They're just as bad as the bad ones. So there's a lot of like parallels to the NBA refs and police officers. They very much have the same kind of egotistical problems with power and control. And because these guys are put on display, it's kind of an interesting psychological thing to watch on display because it's so public. You can actually see the cockiness and arrogance of the refs in the games. And in some ways, if I was in sociological studies still, I may try and write a paper about correlations and parallels to the refs and police officers out in the modern world and everyday society. That there very much is the same kind of mechanisms of fraternalism and protecting each other and kind of like standing up for each other to hide mistakes that they make. And it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Jimmy Pope saying they really let him play in the playoffs, laughing my ass off. I was watching all these ticky-tack fouls being called. Be prepared for some bullshit tonight, but let's hope not. We just got to rise above it. If it's 8-on-5, we're going to take it down and we'll try and beat them no matter what. We've beaten teams 8-on-5 this season. We'll do it again tonight if we have to. That's why the Raptors have to play the absolute talent and ability. Masai Ujiri, I watched Mike's piece from Saturday, finally yesterday, and I love what he's saying. He believes in the talent of this team. He believes in this core, that he believes it needs some time, that this team is just too talented to be performing the way they did this year. And I believe that's true. That's why they need to do this game tonight the way they could at their ultimate best. Because in that way, when we show the very, very best that the Raptors are, they're so overwhelming, they cannot be beat. And that's what we need. We need that sharing the ball. We need that all around communication on both ends of the court, with the defensive end and the offensive end. Calling out screens, calling out where you need to get to, calling out where the guy is getting open, and then calling for the ball and cutting off the ball and getting the ball delivered to you in a sound, non-turnover way. All this stuff is important. Getting the steals and getting transition to get easy baskets, getting on those boards and getting the offensive rebounds and giving us second chance shots. All of this is going to be important tonight. And you guys have won these battles consistently in a lot of these games this year. You're going to have to do it now more than ever and really try and win the shooting battle. That is the one that will be the most key. 3-pointers and shots. Just make more shots and don't have any cold periods where they don't make anything. We got to do all that kind of stuff. Mike is saying, good to see Mike, by the way. And I really did enjoy your piece from Saturday, the Masai one. Really, really good. Let's see. What is Mike saying? Mike is saying, Lex, not gonna lie, Shawshank is the popular GOAT movie. It's recognized as the best movie ever for generations and other. I agree with this. I'm not saying that. I just think it's kind of funny that all the refs like a prison movie. Like in some ways, they're like, I'm going a little deep, and maybe this is a stretch. They're kind of like prison guards in some ways. Not that the players are prisoners or anything, but in some ways, that lifestyle of being an NBA player, there's some sacrifices in some ways. It's I don't know, it's maybe a very loose connection, but in some ways I wonder about that. Like in that movie, I don't think of them as being identifying with Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. I think that they identify with the guards because that's who they kind of are in some ways. Tom Duke's got the food out. All right, I love to see it. He's got chicken and waffles and pepper for James Williams. I'm guessing, all right, that's the soul food, but he's got a spicy pea pepper with it too. There's that cheese pizza. He's even got a block of cheese extra for Kevin Scott. He can actually melt the extra cheese on top of the cheese pizza to get double cheese pizza. Maybe some ways Kevin Scott is like a big kid. This motherfucker's a Guess Who champion and he likes cheese pizza. This motherfucker needs to be invited to your 6-year-old cousin's sleepover. Yeah, or something like that. This motherfucker playing board games and eating cheese pizza. Okay, and there's those oysters. Those oysters for Mitchell Ervin. That's right, Mitchell. You get the good stuff. You get that hotline bling, that 21, can you do something for me? Lifestyle, Drake lifestyle. Come here to Toronto and get that OVO feel. Yes, come to our court and see. Hopefully the great Drizzy will be sitting at courtside, and maybe you guys can talk for a second before the game and say, yeah, I really like your album out last year, Drake. Oh, thank you, Mitchell Ervin. Please be kind to the Raptors tonight, referees. Any kind of exchange like that, that would be great. Fantastic. Lots of spicy domination tonight. I love it. Tom's putting extra spice in the food for the refs. Extra spicy for spicy Pascal Siakam. That's right. I love it. Summer Lowe saying, how many minutes will Fred play tomorrow or today? It's today. How many minutes will Fred play today? Well, he should get his normal amount of minutes. I would say between 35 to 40 minutes today. We'll hopefully see a good effort from him, and he'll play very high level. I just want him to make smart decisions, and he has to understand where to direct water. That is the most important thing Fred does at this point. He makes decisions, and he needs to make the right ones, whether it's him shooting or him passing, him getting the pass to the right people to get them going. In some ways, I want him to be a true point guard. And if he sees somebody like Gary Trent Jr. struggling, set him up and get him going. That is your job in some ways, Fred. Now, of course, we want you to get yourself going too. But in some ways, if you're not going, you need to get other people going for sure. And that is maybe something you can do no matter what. If you're not making your shot, well, you definitely need to go find other guys and help them get their shots going, like OG, Gary, Fred, Pascal. If you can do that, Scottie, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Leslie is saying, hello, good morning, Raptor Freak family. I'm super excited about game day. The weather is awesome. Jurassic Park should be crazy. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, it is a beautiful day, and it is a perfect day to go down to Jurassic. Hopefully this won't be the only Jurassic Park for the season. Friday's game, hopefully we have people going down there for Jurassic also, even though the game's in Miami. So hopefully that is what's happening. Now, if you do enjoy Jurassic Park, go there today for sure and show your support outside the building, because it does really help. Past players like Paul Pierce said we could hear the people outside also, along with the crowd inside. So when you guys go down to Jurassic and you make that extra noise outside the building, they can hear it, just so y'all know. And that is super impressive and a little bit daunting for the opponents that are coming to our building. Although DeMar's used to it, I'm sure he doesn't feel it. Like he said, DeMar said he can't be a villain in this. And he's exactly right. He really can't. In some ways, some people will say, oh, DeMar's going to be the villain if he puts us out. No, he won't. In some ways, it'll be justified. And that's the crazy thing. He can't be a villain at this point. Even if he breaks our hearts and puts us out tonight, in some ways, we're like, yeah, we'll be kind of like, we deserve it. And we're not upset with him. That's kind of how it'll be if it happens that way. Hopefully it doesn't happen that way, and we just give DeMar some more heartbreak, which is sad in a way, but it's also kind of like, it may very help the Chicago Bulls and their nation as far as like closing the chapter on this chapter of what they've been trying to do and starting over. Because in some ways, Lonzo Ball never showing up really, really hurt them. And is really the key to the reason why the Bulls have not been as better than they should have been the last couple of years, is the lack of ball on their team. He was supposed to be there and a part of the whole scheme of it. And in some ways, he's that zest that's missing for this team to put them over the top. So I don't know if they can continue to wait for him. The man can barely walk at times this past year, let alone run. And I have no idea why they're waiting for him. In some ways, y'all need to pivot and get going in another direction. I don't know. And if we beat them tonight and they have such a disappointing season, well, they're going to be looking in the mirror, and there may be huge changes for them. In fact, it may be very much like us, that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. Hey, it's you or me, you or me. It's like that with Chicago and Toronto right now. A lot of the Toronto fans want DeMar to be Dr. Kevorkian and put us out of our misery and send us, just like Randolph said, send us to the lottery with a better chance for a pick. And don't even fuck around with the postseason. Well, there's people on the other side for the Bulls that feel the exact same way for their team. They're like, put us out, Toronto. Please put us out of our misery. So it's very interesting that there's that kind of pessimism on both sides. There are a certain percentage of Bulls fans, just as much as Raptors fans, who are like, just beat us and put us out. It's such a weird phenomenon, honestly. Really, really weird. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, you mean today, Summer? Let's go, team. Come on. That's right. Oh, no, Summer. I hope they're not like you. Although we've got to give Summer some credit, Tom, because listen, Summer's actually in a time zone that may be thinking that it's tomorrow. I don't know how it works with where she is, because I think she's in Hong Kong. So maybe it is still tomorrow for her. I don't know. I think that they're ahead of us though. So they should be like, maybe she should be saying yesterday. Well, we got to wait. How many minutes will Fred play yesterday? I don't know. That's an international timeline with Hong Kong and where we are. Maybe she is today or tomorrow. I don't know. It's crazy. Isaac saying garden season is open. Let's grow. Let's grow. That's right. On the team. Let's grow, Raptors, and outside. Plant your garden and get out there and get your hands dirty. Yeah, I love it. Country Kong saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. I'm so excited for our game tonight. The Lakers and the Hawks got it done, and it's the Raptors' turn to do the same. We're so much better than our record. Let's go, Raptors. Yes, Country Kong. We are if we show up. That's the whole thing. We have not consistently shown up in games that matter this season. I don't want to see no effort like game 6 against Philadelphia last year in the first round. Y'all need to come correct and show up and really respect and ingratiate yourself to the game and the basketball gods by really showing that you respect the game by coming correct and coming to the game fundamentally strong and playing hard and playing well, going and get after it, getting after all the loose balls, getting all the rebounds, doing everything you need to do to win basketball games, Raptors. And it's a full 48 every single damn second of those 48 minutes of all 4 quarters. You need to show up, and you can't have any of these bullshit periods where all of a sudden you decide you're not going to play defense for half a quarter and the other team scores 20 points on us in 5 minutes. No, you cannot do that tonight. You need to play solid the whole entire game. Be the embodiment of the player called Jeff Doughton Jr. He may not be on our playoff roster, but he could be your player spirit animal. So be Jeff Doughton Jr. as far as consistency, dependability, and not fucking up and making good decisions on the court most of the time. Be the spirit animal that Jeff Doughton Jr. is, and you will win tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Smooth saying, no matter what happens tonight, brighter days ahead. That's right. We game this shit for a no lose scenario. I don't believe in no win scenarios. I believe in no lose scenarios. And we have no way we can lose tonight. Either we go out and we're done and we can move on and start our postseason and start going into like things that we need to do for the summer, or we win and we stay alive and we continue to go. We can see the bright side either way. You know, I can say all the kind of things that'll be great for DeMar if he wins and how much healing that would be good for him. And I'll concentrate on that if we lose. But if we win, I will definitely be concentrating on us and talking about getting to Miami to beat Mr. Lowry next. Yeah, I love it. Tom Duke is retracting messages. Shir Khan is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Rookie of the year, Raptor Freak Rookie of the year. Shir Khan in the house. Wow, what a night. We got Miami and Lakers now facing Memphis. I like our chances. We match up well. Real well, and the crowd was a non-factor. Chicago can be beat if we score a lot inside the paint. Go Raptors. Yes, Shirkan, I love your positivity as usual. You know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, and we will find out tonight. The paint stuff, yeah, I don't know. Where do we beat Chicago? Do we beat them down low? I mean, Vucevic isn't really a shot blocking kind of center. He can be, but he's a little slow, and you can get around him and kind of fool him. You know, sometimes maybe the mid-range is the place. I mean, that's the joke that OG and Pascal were making in the last couple of days. They're saying they want to go work out with DeMar this offseason and learn his mid-range even further, that they want to learn more tricks of the trade from the mid-range master, Mr. DeMar DeRozan. Now, we know that DeMar has proprietary knowledge from the late Kobe Bryant. That Kobe Bryant, when he retired, he came back and he said, DeMar, you're my dude. I'm going to teach you a couple of things about my footwork that nobody else in this league does. And he knows some of the secrets of the great Mamba mentality as far as like how to use his feet to get his shots and be so effective. That's seriously, it's like Colonel Sanders told him the secret recipe is what Kobe Bryant talked to DeMar. Well, maybe Pascal and OG are like, can you teach us some of that stuff this offseason? Because that's what they've been saying in the interviews the last 2 days. The Pascal and OG both want to work out with DeMar this summer coming up. Let's see. G saying, did we talk about the great conversation between Kevin Garnett and Cousins? Speaking of how great they think Scottie is. No, I did not watch that interview with Kevin Garnett. I have not seen any of that stuff. Usually if it has something to do with DeMarcus Cousins, I ignore it because it's not that interesting to me. No, I didn't know that these guys are talking real big about Scottie Barnes. That's awesome. Well, that sounds like a good thing. But no, I don't know. I didn't see the interview, so I can't really speak on it. Mike saying Lex is getting recognized. Salute. That's awesome as fuck. Congrats, Lex. Hope you see it often. I better get used to it. Like, it was so weird. I got on the bus literally across the street from my house, and it's not even, I don't really go out that much. I really don't. I stay home a lot. And it was weird. I got on the bus and the guy was like looking at me. He's like, "Hey, I know you." And I'm like, "Have you seen me on YouTube?" He's like, "Yes." And I was like, it was so weird. So weird. Nice guy named Nino. And he was just getting off work and we just caught up for a bit. We were talking about the games this week, the playoffs, and just general stuff. And he was interested in some of the things about my channel and just talking about different things. It was crazy. It was weird. I've never had that thing happen before. And it was kind of weird. Who knows if it'll start happening more? It's not that I care about that kind of stuff, but it did catch me off guard. I was like, "Oh, you got to realize that, yeah, this is one of the things I was telling my dad. I was like, I don't even know. I could be out in public and there could be people that watch me and I don't even know it. And maybe they will come up to me and talk to me. So I need to realize every single person out there could be somebody that was watching me. So I should be nice to every single stranger out in the world, because they may actually be one of y'all." I don't even know it, but it's cool meeting more and more people like Jason yesterday, DukeRocks. In some ways it's cool. He's got like a whole bunch of instruments and he jams. And in some ways I want to go jam with him, like sing songs and with his band and stuff. So who knows? Maybe I'll get into a band with Duke Rocks because of this. Who knows? It'd be fun. Fiercely saying, "That's so cool, Lex. You're a star." I don't know if I'm a star. I'm a very localized star. I don't know, though, although there's people all over the place that know me in different places around the world too. So I don't know. I'm not going to get a big head. I have a very small niche audience, and they seem to have found me yesterday. Isaac saying, "Soon you will have to draw the line like Scottie Barnes' Twitch comments. You only sign for the kids." It will never, ever be like that, Isaac. Oh, come on. Seriously, that'd be crazy. And I'm not for kids, remember? It's not like the kids won't know who I am. I'm not catered towards them. But it's funny. Fiercely saying, "Raptors super fan Mo is our lucky charm. Enjoy the game." Yeah, she really is. I don't know what her win percentage was this season, Monique. I know that you went to like a lot of games. You probably went to at least almost 20 games, I would think. And I will bet they won probably about 15 of them, if not like 16 or so. I would say they probably won about 75% of the games. So Infamous is here. Morning freaks. When you give Nurse time to prepare, he usually is on his game. Yeah, and I have to give him credit. He really did show us a fire in his interview this week about like the whole competition and getting prepared for these kind of things. He's talking about how he has certain assistant coaches doing stuff on Miami and Atlanta to prepare for Friday, just in case to see who gets there. Well, the person who's ever is preparing for Miami, that is the team that we got to prepare for. But we still got to take care of Chicago first. And I think this just really, like, Nick is that problem solver kind of guy. When he sees a team that he has to face, like the Bulls tonight, he really looks at them analytically and really tries to suss out where he could take them apart. And he really enjoys this. In fact, this may be the thing he loves the most about coaching, is taking other teams apart like a sadist or some maniac or something. So he's really loves this part. And I really do have a lot of trust in him for this kind of stuff. You're exactly right, Infamous. When he has time to prepare and he gets schemes together, as Earl Watson said, he's the mad genius with this kind of stuff. So listen, redeem yourself in some ways with us, Nick. Get your team successful. Get your team some W's. Get your team a playoff series. And that'll go a long way for healing the rift with me and you personally. And then, other people maybe like me will come back around to seeing the value of you being the Toronto Raptors coach. Because there's a lot of questions about you and whether you're 1 foot out the door right now. So show us that you're not trying to close that door and slip out right away by winning some games before, even if you do leave this summer. We'd like to see you do your best to get us as far as we can. Let's see. Monique is saying Greg Anthony and Nabil high praise us for the playing game on Game Time. That's good. That's really good. I like to hear that. Mike's saying facts, Infamous. Especially this year, we've seen defense is more effective when the team uses their A game based on what we have planned for. The team changing things up and going different hurts us. It does that. I don't know if that hurts us. Like if we switch it up, like I know that they're going to adjust. Billy Donovan's a smart coach. He does really good job with adjustments also. And he's going to have weird game plans and he's going to try good stuff. But Nick has kind of outcoached him this season when they've gone face to face. He's done a really good job of game planning against Chicago, and we've had huge results. I think that's part of the reason why Nick feels confident in our team today. That he feels really confident about our team's effort, and they're going to be fully prepared for today. So, if there's anything about changing things in the game and adjustments, that'll be us changing things to the detriment of the Bulls, and that'll hurt them. It's more likely to be like that because of the makeup of our team being so athletic and so Vision 6'9". That's actually the plus of it, is that we can be so good at like stopping any kind of creative changes. Meanwhile, they're a small team. If they're going to play Caruso at shooting guard and then have Levine at small forward and DeMar at the 4, that's a small team. And we should be able to bully them. In fact, in games this season, we saw Scottie posting one of them, that whoever guards him, he posts them and goes right at them right away. In fact, we can probably expect this tonight. OG and Scottie in the low post bully balling the smaller Bulls defenders. That would be a very sound strategy. If Nick can get those set up in the low post and just let Scottie make some easy shots over Alex Caruso, that could be very successful and good for us tonight. That really could. Let's see. Infamous is saying Haslem is Pat Riley's spy in the locker room. That's why there's a disconnect. Yeah, that's for sure. Infamous is exactly right. Haslem's a company man. He is a Miami Heat guy through and through. He was born in Miami. This man is as Miami can get, and that is exactly true. He's been around so long. Pat Riley was the coach when he was still playing. He was playing then when Pat Riley was a coach. And I think that this statement is exactly right. That seems exactly right. And it could be, Pat Riley's telling Kyle Lowry to lose weight and get in shape. Then Kyle Lowry doesn't exactly like Pat Riley. And Udonis Haslem's watching them. And Jimmy Butler and Kyle are buddies. And they're kind of rebels on the Heat team, probably against Pat Riley and Udonis Haslem. So there could be a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Salute the logic. That's right. Shane Waters is saying key to the game. Listen to this. Key to the game. Raptors. I want to give you a little hint. A key to the game today is put the ball in the fucking basket. Yeah. Shane Waters, Captain Obvious. Yes, please do that many times, more than the other team, and we win. Tom Duke is saying, yes, indeed. Let's just dunk for the first quarter. I don't know if we can arrange that. I mean, definitely go down low and try and break the seal with an easy, high percentage shot. Don't come out there trying to bomb threes to start the game right away, unless you're feeling real good, Fred, and you want to come up there and just like hit a three right away to set the tone. All right, I guess. But I'd much rather you go down low and set up OG or Scottie with a low post move on a smaller defender because we know they're going to have a mismatch. We know they're going to have a mismatch. In fact, that may be the biggest key to tonight is our bigger lineup against their smaller lineup and bullying the hell out of them. We got to do it. Cowboys here. Good to see Bradley. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Let's go. I know we are winning this game tonight. I'm so pumped. And if we don't, I'm going to say it right now. If we don't, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Let's go. Good stuff, Bradley. I like to see that. You know what? I'm going to do this just out of the blue right now. The real mascot matchup. Let's go right now. Play-in edition. All right. So the last time we saw the Raptor, he's arrested and he is in court. He's in the adjudication hearing with the judge. And the judge is Goran Dragic, Judge Dragic. Really weird. Now, Officer Malloy, Officer Foster, and Officer Brothers are there. And they're there as witnesses, and he's getting arraigned or something. I don't know. Like maybe he's like found guilty or not guilty. Either way, what happens is they look at the evidence that the police have brought forth to put the Raptor in jail, and somehow, some reason, the people in the court are very loud and they're booing the judge. Yeah, they're booing the hell out of the judge, Judge Dragic. Boo, boo. They don't like him because for some reason he's like been a bad judge. And so the crowd, the people in the court are like, order in the court, order in the court. The bailiff's like, quiet down, damn it. We don't care if you're booing the judge. Just quiet down. They're going, shh, 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 And, well, there's so much chaos in the courtroom that Judge Dragic just throws the case out. He says, I cannot see enough evidence here to put this Raptor in jail for what you're saying. I do not know if he told him to get on the yak. And so case dismissed. Boom. And then celebration. Yay. The Raptor does not have to go to jail. and he actually walks out of that courtroom a free man. Well, now he has his whole life ahead of him. In fact, he's so worried about like being in jail that he kind of gets this inspiration to live his fullest life and to start checking things off his bucket list. Well, he's decided he's going to fly to Pamplona. Yes, it just happened to be a certain time of the year where they run with the Bulls. And he's like, you know what? I almost got put in jail and I just want to live my life the fullest. I've had a hard year. I've had all kinds of crazy shit happen to me, being attacked by wolves, being like kidnapped and put into like a hostage house in a sauna room with crazy ass nurses torturing me, just like Kathy Bates in Misery. I've had like horrible, horrible things happen to me all year. I got beat up and left in the ditch, all kinds of bad stuff. So he's going to go live his fullest life. And he's decided he's going to go to Pamplona and run with the Bulls. That's right. So he is there in that lanes of that Spanish town, and he's going to run with the Bulls. Well, let's see if he makes it. Is he going to make it through this situation? It's very dangerous to run with the Bulls. People get trampled in the running of the Bulls all the time. Well, we're going to have to find out tonight in the playing game. Will the Raptor survive the running of the Bulls in Pamplona? He's living his best life, and he wants to feel alive. But will he die because he gets trampled? I don't know. We're going to have to find out tonight in the NBA play-in tournament. Chicago Bulls at Toronto Raptors tonight. The Raptor, find out next time, the real mascot matchup. What happens? And if things happen a certain way, I will tell you what happens on Friday. We'll find out. Yeah. All right, let's see. Mike saying, let's beat the Bulls. I heard the crap people are talking about. The Bulls have this. The line, the Bulls have been a different team after the All-Star break. They missed the fact we are too. Are you saying, are they better or worse? Because in some ways, I don't know. I think they've been pretty mid this whole season. Like they haven't really had like any period of time where they're absolutely bang up completely good. We are now favored in Vegas odds 59% to win to 41% for them. So we are favored almost 60 to 40. So, hey, the experts are thinking us. I mean, we're home and we have a really good home court. We do shoot better at home. We have beaten them this whole season in the season series. There's a lot of reasons why we are favored. So we need to play like we're the favorite. I mean, teams yesterday were favorites and they still lost. And we need to make sure that we beat them for sure. Smooth saying NBA did not want the Lakers playing in an elimination game. So they did everything possible to make sure there was a W last night. Yeah. And the crew chief was David Guthrie. And I'm really starting to wonder about him. I really am. Like he may be one of the smoothest ref hit job artists in the league. Because he definitely did it to Timberwolves last night. Fiercely saying, your theory makes sense because teams like the Pacers, Magic, Detroit, Hornets don't have stars with enough drama or baggage to promote against higher-ranked teams on the East. Less money for the NBA. Yeah, part of it is that, they're not as marketable, but they are bad teams too. I mean, the Hornets have been so bad without LaMelo. The Magic have been okay at times, and they look like they could become like a star team. Obviously, they have the Rookie of the Year, and they have a lot of star power in some ways. So they may be a team that's ready to rise up. And, of course, Detroit, full Wemby sweepstakes right there. Full Wemby sweepstakes. Now, the Pacers, they are a good team. It's just they're not flashy or attractive. Like, they're not very marketable. That's for sure. That's for sure. But, yeah, it is all about that. And it is all about LeBron. Like, LeBron is a big part of that. And the further he gets in the playoffs, like if he gets eliminated in the play-in like he has in recent years, that's not what the NBA wants. Trust me. So they had to make sure, and they did last night. They could have been like, all right, we're going to let them play and see what happens. Well, they were about to see Minnesota beat the Lakers. So they got involved and they changed the course of the game to make sure the Lakers don't have to play on Friday in a do or die then, and then like fail at that too. That's what I'm saying. There's hand holding. They handhold and help the Lakers along a little bit easier than other teams. And if I was a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I'd be pretty pissed off today in some ways. Monique is saying we got to hit first out of the gate. No boneheaded plays. Yeah, I love that. That is definitely a key to the win for the Raptors in this do or die situation. Fiercely saying funny because the Lakers crowd kept chanting referees suck. They think they're above everyone. Yeah, they got help from them. Those idiots. They were yelling at the refs. They probably were like mad at them for littlest things. But that's what I'm saying. It's the same way that LeBron, he gets all the fouls in the world. He gets to the line and he'll complain if he doesn't get that one call and he gets upset at the refs. It's the same thing mirrored in the crowd that they expect every single call to go for them. And if they don't get every single call, they get upset. The same shit happened in Boston when we played them on Friday night last week. There was one call late in the game that went for us, and the Celtics fans had a tizzy. They're so fucking spoiled. Both those fan bases, they don't even realize what it means to get bad calls in some ways. They think they get bad calls, but they really don't. They get so much more favoritism than bad calls. And that's the thing. So when they do get one call that's against them, they make a big deal out of it and say the refs are against them. Well, that was one fucking call out of like 20 that went for you. So that's what I'm saying. They're spoiled and they get upset about the one call that goes against them. It's crazy. Race Mode saying, road to 18 wins. See you at the parade. Let's go. I love that Edmund, he focuses on the amount of wins that we got to get to a championship. This is something that Stevie Roots and I would do when we were around the championship year. And we'd say, we got to get this 16. We got to get 16 but with two more because the elimination games for the play-in, it's 18. And he's right. We got it road to 18. We get the first one tonight. That's marking number one on the path to getting 18 wins to get the Larry O'Brien. And I like the way he thinks about this, Race Mode Daily. Very smart. He's saying, see you at the parade. Let's go. I like it. Tom Duke saying, we are going streaking. Keep your clothes on. We're going streaking. That's right. Leslie saying, last night was vintage, Kyle. I miss his fighting spirit. We need some of that tonight. We need that on our team. Nothing for DeMar and nothing for Kyle on Friday. We need all that kind of dog, Kyle Lowry spirit for our team tonight against DeMar. Infamous is saying Wolves fans didn't get screwed. It was more like the other way around. Ham had to waste a replay on an obvious block by AD. Also, that last closeout by AD was not a foul. Okay, so Infamous is standing up for the Lakers. The only thing I'm going to say, Infamous, and this is how good David Guthrie is, he's going to make it look like that for you. But I will say 17 free throws for the Lakers in the second half in the overtime. And the only 3 damn free throws that the Minnesota Timberwolves shot were in the Mike Conley free throws right at the end of the regulation. That's a 14-point difference. And how much did the Lakers win by last night? I mean, you could look at individual specific plays, but if they're giving them so many chances on the line and the other team is getting, we know how they do it because they do it to the Raptors. They swallow the whistle and they get the Lakers to hit the hell out of the Timberwolves and they don't get to the foul line ever. And meanwhile, people just breathe on LeBron. He's at the free throw line. That's what I'm saying. The referees manipulate the game way more than you think. And it's really with the free throw attempts. In that case last night, that's how they turned the game and helped the Lakers. Is the Timberwolves were killing them the whole entire game. They were beating their ass, and they had to do a little hand holding to help the Lakers get over the hump. They really did. Let's see. Tom Duke is praying. Fiercely saying Pels versus OKC. I like both teams, but cheer for OKC. Yeah, I like both teams too. And in some ways, I don't know who to pick on this one. In some ways, I don't care. But we'll have to see how it all goes down. SGA or Udonis? I don't know. I can't choose. Cowboy saying, yes, sir, race mode. Let's go. Also, this is off topic, but what's everybody's thoughts on this Bud Light thing with Dylan? Laugh out loud. That Kid Rock video was funny, though. Okay, you're bringing up something really out of the blue, Canadian Cowboy. Bud Light. Their campaign with pride and, different standing up for different things that are awesome. But they're really killing themselves with their clients, the people that buy their product, the people that I know the people that like to drink Bud Light down south. Trust me, and they're not into having rainbows on their cans. And in some ways, I think that it's really awesome they're doing this, even if it's bad for their bottom line, because it is true. Anheuser-Busch's stocks and their sales have gone way down, and a whole bunch of people that drank Bud Light religiously. That were like, there's people that are like Ford and Chevrolet people that argue. Well, there's people that are like Bud people down there. That's like my beer. Well, they're turning their backs on them because of this. And I'm not saying that it's right to do that. I'm just saying that's what's happening. But yeah, this whole situation, it's not something that really has a whole lot to do with what we're talking about. But it's interesting how people are so upset with Bud Light right now. I don't know what Dylan did with Bud Light. And Kid Rock, I've heard all the stupid shit he's saying. Travis Tritt. Whatever. Those guys are phonies anyway. Nameless is saying, let's fucking go, you bunch of dirty freaks. Buongiorno, Nameless. Sue's saying, good morning, everyone. Let's give it to the Bulls tonight. Go Raps. Play it again, Sue. Check out Sue's reaction channel on YouTube. It's awesome. And I agree with Sue. Let's give it to the Bulls tonight. Let's win. Tom Duke's got the 100% Canadian maple syrup and oil drum volume ready. 3 oil drums ready to go to just pour it on real thick. Tom Duke's saying we have more than a chance tonight. Are you saying we have more than a chance tonight, Tom? Are you saying that, Seymour Pape? I believe you're right. Let's see. Shere Khan saying over 45 people watching right now. Let's smash the like for the algorithm. The confidence level is high in the latest interviews, and a tight 8-man rotation may just do the trick for the Raps versus Chicago. I think that's probably for sure going to happen. It'd be really crazy if Nick goes 10 deep. That would mean maybe he's like playing little specialty like insertions of guys like maybe Koloko for very specific things like shot blocking or something like that. But I fully expect what you're saying to be true, Shere Khan, that he's probably going to just play at 8, and it's going to be Precious, Chris, and Gary off the bench and nobody else. They'll be the starters with those 3 guys, and you'd be very, very lucky to see even Will Barton probably in the game tonight. Now, I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. G saying the NBA restaurant is 10,000 square feet and looks great. I've seen the pictures of it. It does look fantastic. It's open now. The first ever NBA restaurant opened here in Toronto. They decided to do it here first. Queens Quay, right near the Scotiabank Arena. So if you want to go check it out, it's supposed to be like a virtual experience of being at an NBA game or being around the NBA. It's a theme restaurant, just like a Hard Rock Cafe or a Planet Hollywood. But it's an NBA themed restaurant, and we have the first one ever in the whole entire league here in Toronto. So go check it out this summer. The NBA themed restaurant on Queens Quay, not far from the arena. Let's see. Jamie's saying barrels of maple syrup. Yeah, we want a big truck with a tractor trailer with a whole like 50 big, huge oil drums of Canadian maple syrup for tonight. We need a lot. We want to coat up everything all around the Scotiabank Arena with that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see. Tom Duke is saying it's winning time, buddy. I like that. Trevor's saying Raptors gonna ride the bull all the way back to Chicago. Let's do it for the city, guys. That's right. Do it for the 6. Do it for Delano City, bro. Do it for Delano City, Scottie. Come on, guys. I believe in y'all. Yakapel, OG Ananobi, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent Jr., Fred VanVleet. Come on out there and shine. Play the way y'all are supposed to play. Play connected, play together, play for each other, and kick so much butt today. I am so for that. Let's ride that bull. Let's take the bull by the horns and ride the running the bulls, the real mascot matchup, and survive. I don't want to see no trampling. I don't want to see no trampling by no bulls on us tonight. We need to win tonight, y'all. Mike's saying there's a guess who where you put NBA players in the card slots. You can ask basketball questions and image questions. I've seen it done by 2K YouTubers. Respect, Lex, for checking my videos and supporting me every time, Mike. I can't always watch them right away, but I do come around and get to them all. And I end up watching them at some point for sure. I do have to catch up on some of the ones from a couple weeks before because I've had a little bit of busy period. But I will be watching them all. I did watch the one from this weekend, though. It's good stuff. I like that Guess Who game that you're talking about. NBA Guess Who? That's awesome. Maybe that's what Kevin Scott's good at. I got the NBA version of Guess Who. And he's like, that's it's like Pirtle, the game Pirtle, where they show the silhouette and you can kind of guess, Pirtle, the game that's like Wordle, except it's Pirtle. I play that all the time too. I always put in Jakob Pirtle first and just try and guess it's him. Oh, the game's called Pirtle. It must be Pirtle. But you can look at the silhouette, and in some ways that kind of helps you like guess who it is. That game's fun, Pirtle. If you guys have never played Pirtle, it's very fun. But I'm very interested in NBA Guess Who also. Monique's saying the NBA restaurant is so wheelchair accessible, which I love. Accessible is so important to me. Yes, Monique, it should be important to everyone, whether you deal with things like Monique deals with or not, that everybody should have access to everything, everywhere in the whole entire city. And that, the old way of building buildings and the old buildings here in Toronto has not been that way. Well, we need to change them and make them more accessible and open for every single person to come to. In fact, the whole city should be like this. We're coming up on this by-election for the mayor of Toronto. And that's why I would fully endorse Gil Penalosa. because he wants to make Toronto accessible for people from 8 months up to 80. The city for everybody, for all ages, to get around and very much do anything they want and have freedom to accessibility. And of course, people like Monique, the Gil Penalosa wants to make this city more inviting and comforting and encouraging for them to go wherever they want and have the freedom to do what they want. And that's why I fully endorse Gil Penalosa. And I would ask anyone here in Toronto, please vote this time and go out and vote. And if you want to vote for Gil, like I'm going to, please do it, because this guy has a lot of great ideas about how we can make this city more livable for everyone. This city is not livable for people anymore here in Toronto. We need to turn the tide on that. And we need more progressive ideas and ones that are fit for people of all ages and all walks of life and all different things that they deal with. And that's why I endorse Gil. There you go. G's saying that's awesome, Mo. I really love that they built it that way, but of course they have to. And the NBA would be dumb not to build it in the most accessible way for everybody to be able to come there. So good job by the NBA. Cowboy saying, have fun at the game, Mo. Win or lose, Raptors for life. Let's go. That's right, Cowboy. One thing is just like deaths and taxes, we love the Raptors. We go root for them no matter what. No, win or lose. Exactly right. Fiercely saying, Pascal and Fred recently had great interviews showcasing them nationally. Their performance tonight needs to back it up, as all eyes will be on them. Scottie also seems to be a favorite by the U.S. media. This is a great, like they were saying this on Raptors Today this week, Akil and Sherman and Paul Jones, the principal Paul Jones. I like that new nickname, the principal Paul Jones. Well, they were saying that they think that Scottie could be a huge X factor in the game today. That if Scottie Barnes can show up and show a new level of like kind of like stepping it up in the playoffs, you know, we talk about Kawhi mode in the playoffs. Kawhi has a certain mode that he turns on in the postseason. We know that there's certain players that just do this kind of stuff. I mean, Jimmy Butler said he does, but last night he didn't really. But that's what I'm saying. Can Scottie start showing a new level in the playoffs and start it today? I want to see you, Scott, step up and do just overwhelmingly powerful things, that you are the man and that you take the game over and that you take us home to the victory. That, you know, somebody's going to have to do it possibly tonight. And why not start writing your story even more on a big stage like this, in this kind of way? It's in some ways you're ready for this, Scott. I can tell you're a budding rose that's just starting to open up. And in some ways, maybe we want you to open up a little bit more today and show your true powers for the future. Tonight, Scottie, be that X factor, be that creme de la creme, that icing on top that absolutely takes us home to a victory for the Toronto Raptors tonight. You have that power, Scott, and hopefully your teammates and your coaches will put you in that position to be successful in that kind of way in this national spotlight in this elimination game tonight. Because, man, you can really start writing part of your legend in a game like tonight. In fact, the dichotomy of you against DeMar, us against DeMar, in some ways, it's like our old guys, our guys from our past are coming against us, and we want to show our future comes up against our past and takes it out and puts it out, eliminates it tonight. That's what I want from you, Scott, tonight. Eliminate DeMar, a former Raptors legend, always will be a Raptors legend, but we want you to meet the past with the future. And you are the future, sir. You need to come out there and show it. Yeah. Summer Lowe saying, yeah, it's tomorrow for me. Ha. See, I told you she's in Hong Kong. So it is tomorrow for Summer Lowe. I love it. You go, Summer Lowe. So good to see you pop in every once in a while and say hi to us. Fun guy saying, I never went, bro. I sold my tickets once I saw there was no implications anymore. I need my first game to be memorable and meaningful at least. Laugh out loud. Gave it to my guy cheap, and he took his girl and son. Oh, fun guy. It would have been a good game though. There were so many good dunks, and we won. And there were. I mean, I get why. You save it up. Listen, if we beat these two games and we get a game next week for the playoffs against Milwaukee, then you should go to the playoffs. That's a meaningful game. So hopefully we can get through this plan and we get a matchup against the Bucks, and you can go to game 3 or 4 of that first round. That would be a great way to go there. But man, okay, you didn't end up making it down there, fun guy. Well, we won still, bro. And there were a lot of good dunks. Tom Duke saying, oops, I thought that afterwards. I beg your pardon, Summer. Cheers and go Raptors. Yeah, that I know it sounded weird to us. Like we didn't want Summer to be like confused because she may not know the game's on tonight and then she'll tune in tomorrow, And we just wanted to make sure. It was really because we're looking out for you, Summer. But she was being factually right because of where she lives on this globe. Yeah, pretty cool. Mike is saying, I'm excited to see what Boucher brings. Last time we saw Boucher, he was going insano mode with that. Boucher's energy will be important in this game. Boucher should have a really good game today, in my opinion. I like what Mike's saying. And in some ways, we don't talk about him enough. When he comes sprinting off the bench to come into the game with that energy, he has been really consistent. In fact, we were talking about if we want our spirit player to be Jeffrey Doughton Jr. as far as being consistent and just making smart decisions and playing solid. Chris, in some ways, has been very consistent this whole entire year. Sure, there's a couple of games where he just doesn't have it and we don't go heavy on him. But for the most part, he's bringing certain intangibles and things at the moment when he comes in off the bench that really help us as far as like the energy uptick and just the aggressiveness of attacking the offensive boards. I want to see him do that today. I want to see him have so many awesome putbacks. I want to see him have such like garbage, crazy baskets that he just gets and he just throws back in for us because we missed. I want to see him just play absolutely outstanding. Transition, dunks, finishing in transition. Him and Delano are two of the best finishers in transition on our team as far as just being able to extend past people and make layups at full speed coming down the court. We want to see all that good stuff from you, Chris. And I love that you're mentioning him, Mike, right now, because I agree. Chris Boucher could be a huge X factor tonight as far as energy and also just doing really good things, keeping possessions alive for us with offensive rebounds. So I'm all about that. I love you giving a shine to Chris today, and hopefully he comes with it, like you're saying. G saying Hawks bench scored 53 points. Imagine the Raptors with a bench like that. They made up for the inefficiency of some of the starters. Yeah, that's a big part of why they won against Miami. They had way more guys showing up and getting in double digits. Meanwhile, on the Miami side, a whole bunch of guys were offers and just like shooting really shitty and struggling just to get to 10 points. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, there's like 7 or 8 guys in double digits by the end of the game. That's what I'm saying. If the Raptors can get as many of their players in double digits tonight, we have a better chance of winning. In fact, that is just kind of the way to go at this point. You got to get like 7 guys in double digits, Raptors, 6 or 7 guys in double digits, because Chicago will be trying to do the same thing on the other side. Although they could go very heavy on DeMar and Zach, and they could have like 70 points between the two of them. And then there's only like 2 or 3 other double-digit scorers other than them. That's what I'm saying. Get 6 or 7 double-digit scorers, spread it all out, and attack them in all kinds of ways, and have all the different guys shooting fairly well. We'll be all right. Now, if some of the guys aren't hitting it well, Nick, go away from them quick and really try and find the guys who are having the hot hand and really feed them tonight. Don't fuck around with Gary for too long if Gary's not making it. If Gary is not doing well tonight, I don't want to see him play a lot in the second half. He's got to be hitting his shot in the first. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. I'm a fun guy saying laugh out loud. I mean, if you actually sit and analyze it, it does seem like 90% of us have no facial pics. Laugh my ass off. You could have crossed paths with so many of us, especially at Raptor games. I know. And it's up to y'all whether you want to come and approach me. If I walk by you, I wouldn't know who you were. And that's the crazy thing. In some ways, I'm a marked man. But no, it was really weird. It was cool. This dude was awesome. This guy, Nino, who was on the bus. It was just out of the blue. It was really weird. But it's true. I have to be this way. In fact, I was telling my dad, I was like, I've got to be nice to all strangers because I don't know if they're actually part of my audience. And I think that's just a good philosophy for people to have. It's like, be nice to everybody because you never know. They could be your fan. Who knows? Wayne saying, today we put the nail in the relationship coffin between the Raptors and DeMar. I don't like that. I will be pissed if I see any respect is shown to DeMar. Be friends off season. He is the enemy. I want to see him crying. Wow. Wayne is no prisoners. And in some ways, I really respect his attitude about this, and I like it. But in some ways, I disagree with it also. There's never going to be a nail in the coffin with our relationship with him. In fact, I want it to grow and sprout and flourish once he's retired once again. In fact, I'd love for him to be a part of our alumni that comes around and is involved with our team afterwards, but I don't think he will be. And that's too bad just because it's just that way. But I wish he could be more like Muggsy and JYD in retirement and down the road. That DeMar can be like that. If we retire his jersey, if he's like the first guy we retire for a jersey, it's really going to depend on who retires first. If Kyle retires first or DeMar retires or they both retire at the same time, hopefully we can retire them both together. But that's the thing. No, this relationship with him's never going to end. And I want it to go on forever because he is a great Raptors legend, but he still currently plays and he plays for the enemy. But yeah, I listen, it's hard not to respect DeMar, whether it's the guys on our team playing against him. We just do because we love him. And he's a part of our family. And in some ways, you got to respect him for his game and how he plays. But we do want to compete with him and we do want to beat him. OG and Nick and Fred, they want to figure out how to slow him down and stop him as best as possible. And that is part of the fun too in it. But you know what? In some ways, I get what you're saying. It's cutthroat and don't be nice. You know, we lost to Kyle last year in his very sunshiny welcome back game. We can't have any of that. It's no welcome back. Hello, we're here. We want to beat you when you come here and send you out of the season and have the Chicago Bulls question everything about their roster and what they need to do with it for the offseason afterwards. But yeah, I don't want to see him crying either, though. I don't like seeing DeMar in sad places. I want DeMar to be happy, but not today. I don't want him to be happy today. Duke saying, that was fun yesterday, meeting up, Lex. That was really sweet jersey. Thank you, Isaac. You're welcome to come jam anytime. Awesome. Duke rocks. Yeah, it was really cool to meet you, man. And thanks for coming to meet me the way you did. It made everything easier and stuff like that. Duke's just seems like a really cool guy, down to earth. And once again, I'm seeing a common thread in all the Raptor freaks that I meet in person. You guys are just all really awesome, good, decent, kind-hearted people that are my kind of people, as far as like you care and you don't just care about things that matter to you. You care about the whole entire world and everything. And I could tell that your energy is like that, Jason. And it was really cool to meet you yesterday. And you know, hopefully I'll see you again real soon, and we'll hang out. I'd love to jam with you, man. Seriously. Blackhawk saying we need to win tonight. It will not affect our draft pick. Yeah, we just need to win. We just need to win. It's do or die. We don't want to be a loser on our home court in front of our fans. We don't want to have a deflation like that and feel sad about that. No, we want to win tonight. We got to win tonight. MSJ saying we should be able to overpower them, no problem. Just have to play the right way and not shoot ourselves out of the game from three. If the three isn't there, go inside. It's so simple. I hope they do it. If they can't get inside, go to the mid range. Just find that level. There's 3 levels to scoring. You got to go and not forget about the mid range. If you're not hitting it from the outside and you can't get anything clean near the basket because of contact, go to the mid range. That is what I'm saying. They always forget about the mid range, it seems like. But yeah, I'm with you, MSJ. We need to overpower them. We have a better team than them. We really do. We have better talent and we have an overall better team. We need to show that tonight. Mike's saying, like when teams do crazy roster adjustments, the planning we have done is less effective. That is a strategy teams have been doing all year. Young players have troubles adjusting to non-organized teams, in my opinion. I'm not totally sure what you're saying specifically, but I think I kind of understand, Mike. Let me keep going with the chat. Wayne saying after demolition of the Bulls, then we deliver Kyle into retirement. Wayne is like a Metallica song right now. After demolition of the Bulls, then we deliver Kyle into retirement. It's like you're singing the lyrics to One by Metallica. I cannot sleep. I cannot live. Tracking myself. Body my holding cell. Oh, sorry. I'm just rocking out to some man Justice for All for a second. Sorry. After that, we put up his statue and say, Hail to the king. But on Friday, he's our enemy. Our second championship has bodies of friends. Wow. This shit is getting Sopranos now. Wayne, you are like the edgiest Raptor freak today, and I love it. I'm so here for this. Wayne is coming for blood. He ain't fucking around today. No, he's not. This is the energy we need from the Raptors. Wayne, could we get you down to Scotiabank or at least get you on the phone with the team over a conference call, and maybe you could start talking to them, because it sounds like you have the right vim and vigor for them to get their mindset right for how they need to approach this game. I'm really liking the attitude Wayne's having here. This is crazy. He wants to deliver Kyle into retirement, like banish the old man. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Monique is saying, happy birthday, Ron. Your future is bright with us. Is it Ron Harper Jr.'s birthday today? Happy birthday to Ron Harper Jr. I hope we get a win on your birthday today. Let's do some good luck for Ron Harper on his birthday and get the win. Sheer Khan saying, off topic, Dylan just endorsed Bud Light and people have gone crazy. Don't get it. Live and let live, I say. I heard Raps may start big with Yak and involve him early in offense with Scottie. Good stuff. Yeah, that'd be smart. Okay, so Dylan, that's what he has to do with it. Is that he's endorsing Bud Light now? Dylan Brooks is a public enemy number one in some ways around the NBA, but he is like, dude, he's starting to get like vibes from me that I like Rodman a lot because Dennis Rodman was like this scoundrel around the league, and so many people hated him. He was such a villain, but I loved him. In some ways, I'm starting to like Dylan Brooks like I used to like Dennis Rodman because he's a shit disturber and he's crazy. And I love this. If he endorsed Bud Light and he's making people in Memphis really mad about that, or people anywhere, that's fantastic. You go with your Cat Williams hair, Dylan Brooks, your crazy ass Cat Williams hair you got right now. Oh man, I wonder if he'll have his hair like that in the game. Wouldn't that be crazy if he had his hair like all straightened and down like that, and he had it like up in a ponytail or something weird? I don't know. It'd be crazy. Let's see. Wayne saying, word is Nick Nurse has caused Thad to lose money on his incentives by his many DMPs. Hope the front office makes up the difference. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how this went down. The word is this, Wayne. This is the truth. Okay. You want to know what the truth is about all this? The front office told Nick to do that. That's not that Nick wanted to do that. Trust me. In fact, he probably would have played Thad more in recent times. It's the front office. They're being cheap. They don't want to pay Thad the extra $500,000 for making 60 games a season. So they told Nick at a certain point, you can't play Thad anymore. He would have played him. So it's not even on Nick. It's on the front office. And they don't want to pay him that money. And that is why that happened that way. That's exactly why. And that's why Thad got so upset. And when Nick was asked about this situation in press conferences, he said, I would like to play Thad, but I can't. So it's the front office. It's the front office who told him not to play him and not let him get to 60. So they had to pay an extra $500,000 to him. That's exactly why. So it's not Nick. It's not Nick in this situation. It's Bobby Webster. So there you go. Leslie's saying, someone please bring Drake some chips and dip tonight. Yes. Mike had that at the beginning of his clip from last Saturday. Drake talking about the chips and dip. I love your editing skills, Mike. Some of the stuff you do is hilarious on that channel with the clips and putting your name in there. Logical Raptors fanatic. It's like putting his name in Masai's voice. It's hilarious. So good. Fiercely saying accessibility is so important. I sometimes participate at meetings for diversity and inclusion at my job, and it is significant. We actually are not bad in Canada as opposed to some other countries. Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. There's a lot of challenges with the old architecture of old Toronto downtown, with the basements, having most of the bathrooms for facilities in like streets on Bloor Street and Danforth, and a lot of the main strips where there's old buildings, and that's where a lot of the businesses are. So a lot of the businesses, what they have to do is they have to not use the bathrooms downstairs and build a new bathroom on the main floor. And there's a code that they have to be applying to, like fitting to now. If they haven't done it now, they're in trouble because they're not following code for accessibility rules. But this has been something that a lot of places with older buildings have had to readjust and remodel their places to fit the codes that are very much important and should be out there. This is cool. I like to hear that Fiercey's at her job, she's being involved in meetings on how to be more inclusive and allow for accessibility for people and different things. That's very cool. Once again, we have very awesome people in this chat that are involved in a lot of interesting things. And I do think that Canada is a bit more progressive and better on this than the States. I can tell you some of the things that I know about Tallahassee with this situation. Yeah, it's like you twisted an arm to get somebody to just put a ramp out in front of their place. It's crazy. Paul B saying we need Siakam and Fred to show up. Gary has to hit his shots. We need hustle and effort for Chris. Precious has to be mentally strong when he has the ball. We got this. You go, Paul B, one of the original Raptor freaks. Such a good guy, Paul B. You know what? I'm with you. We do need Fred and Siakam to show up with that leadership and prove me wrong. Show me that you can do it in clutch and take over and win at the end of the game once again. Siakam and Fred, show up again. Fred, fourth quarter. Fred, steady Freddie, and put those daggers through the 3-point shots late that take us over the top and make sure we win against the Bulls for sure tonight. Gary, yes, please hit your shots tonight. And yes, hustle from Chris and Precious. Just play the way you have been playing recently. You played really well in recent games, and we need that Precious once again, the one from last season in the playoffs and the second half of last year. Duke saying Scottie's first playoff game ever. He almost had a triple-double before Embiid stepped on his ankle. I hope Scottie brings the Kawhi factor. In some ways, he's showing he's that kind of player. He talks about like he gets up for big games that really matter, and he will get up. So hopefully we'll see what he does tonight. We'll be able to tell very much if Scottie is very tuned in the game and he's making a lot of winning plays all over the place and just doing amazing stuff. We'll be able to tell because sometimes, he's been a little bit lost in the shuffle the last couple games. There was that goose egg in Charlotte, which was very uncharacteristic for him. And in some ways, he hasn't really been shooting as well near the end of the season right now. Last year, in his rookie year, he's finished so strong to the end of the season that him getting hurt in the first game against Philadelphia really sucked because it kind of hurt his inertia that he had been building going into the last part. All the other rookies were hitting rookie walls, and Scottie didn't hit a rookie wall. He was like insane. He kept like playing strong all the way through right until the end. And that's part of the reason why he won the Rookie of the Year. But that's what we want to see. We want to see that back again tonight for sure, Scottie. I believe in you, man. I think tonight you're going to show a lot of eyes and a lot of people who the hell you are and what you mean for the future of the NBA. I hope you do that tonight. Like, make a statement tonight, Scottie. Really do that. And do it in a Kawhi factor. I think he can. He's got the skills. Cowboys saying, got to go, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Got to go and finish this paint job at Queen and Coxwell so I can make it in time for the game. Put enough love to everyone. Enjoy your day. Later, everybody. Let's go. You're right in my neck of the woods. You're right around the corner from me, Bradley. I live in that neighborhood where you're at right now. So I hope you have a good time over there. And maybe I should come and find you. Anyway, Mike's saying, don't worry, Lex. I'm going to look at it more. Maybe a video. It's a trend I've been seeing. W stream. Thank you, Mike. Fiercely saying Dillon Brooks is the new age Rodman. He is. He really is starting to become like that. His swagger and style is a little bit different than Rodman's. But in some ways, the way he eats up being the villain is very similar. And it's funny. I love how he's like, I want LeBron. And now you got him. So get some revenge for Lebronto, Dillon Brooks. Go ahead, a kid from Mississauga. You go get some revenge on LeBron. Some people think I'm crazy saying that, but Infamous is saying Dillon Brooks is the Undertaker's son. He has the hair down like this. For Halloween next year, maybe he should dress up as the Undertaker or something like that. Either that or Eric Andre. It'd be hilarious if he was dressed up as Eric Andre. It'd probably actually work really well. Tom Duke saying fake news is wrong, Dylan. Fake news wrong, Dylan Lex. Bud Light thing is about Dylan Mulvaney. Oh, okay. I don't even know. In some ways, I don't really care about that whole controversy. I'm proud of Anheuser-Busch for doing what they did with their can. If they're pissing off bigots, I'm on their side for sure. And if people are going to say woke goes broke, well, we may see that a little bit just because people are like that, but it's whatever. In some ways, I'm very proud of Budweiser for doing this. I used to drink Bud when I used to drink, but I don't anymore, obviously. But yeah, on this whole thing, I'm with Budweiser. Go Budweiser. Troy saying, game day, excited day. Let's go Raptors. Appleton and Pepsi on ice later. Tuning in. All right. Troy's got his beverage of choice ready for the night. Ready to just wine and dine and get ready for this game. You go, Troy Henry. I'm ready for this game too. I'm excited. I'm ready to lift some weights and get all powered up and ready mentally to watch this game tonight. Wayne saying, as a sports fan of many sports teams and nationalities, any respect shown to former teammates, whether national or team, always ends up with the nicer teammates losing. Former alliances have to be forgotten. Thanks for the Thad update. No problem, Wayne. All right, this is I love, man, this dude is serious, man. Honestly, like if I was in the Army, I would want Wayne Strainer to be my sergeant. I would want him to be directly in control because his mentality right here, the leadership he's saying right here, this is so cutthroat. And this is so badass. And this is what this team needs so bad. We need the inspiration and attitude of Wayne Strainer right here in the mind of Pascal Siakam right now. We need what he is saying right here in the mind of Fred VanVleet. And I hope it is to a degree. I mean, it's tough because they do really have a connection and they really do talk to him all the time. OG said he talked to DeMar this weekend before any of this was set up. We know that Fred and him are close. And in some ways, DeMar it's real easy for him to get the gumption to go against us. Now, are our guys going to be too nice to him and we worry about this? In some ways, what Wayne's saying could be a factor in why we lose tonight if we do. That this could very well be true. Geez, taking his comment away. Oh my gosh. All right, we're just at 2 hours. Let me just do a real quick recap. Make sure I didn't forget to talk about anything. All right, there's no real injuries tonight. Otto Porter Jr., whatever. Lonzo Ball, whatever. We knew they were out. They have a small starting lineup. We should very much try and capitalize on bullying Caruso and Levine and people like that with people like Scottie and OG. That could be a very big way for us to win. Of course, if our bench could do well, that'd be fantastic. The Miami Heat did not get it done against the Atlanta Hawks. So they're waiting for the winner of our game tonight to play on Friday. The Atlanta Hawks will be playing the Boston Celtics in the first round. Otherwise, the Lakers did beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in overtime last night with a little hand helping from David Guthrie. Some people may say that, oh, Lex, they won. They came over and beat them. Yeah, well, that's what the NBA wanted. They wanted more LeBron, so they definitely helped y'all in some ways. So Minnesota was on their way to win, and then all of a sudden the Lakers got 17 free throw attempts. Minnesota only got 3 in the second half. That is messed up. Congratulations to DukeRocks once again winning the Yahoo Fantasy League. Y'all can check out the nice picture of him and I when I gave him the jersey yesterday on this channel. It's in the community section. Our referees for tonight are James Williams, Kevin Scott, Mitchell Ervin, and an alternate is Ray Acosta. All 3 refs favor the Raptors statistically. So that's a good sign. I like that. Monique saying, W stream all around, Lex. Keep at it as you can update me on the broadcast side tomorrow. Everyone, togetherness at all times. You got it, Monique. I know you'll be the eyes on the scene there in person, and we can help you before the game. Maybe if I find out something about any kind of like lineup news right before the game, I'll message you in the Facebook chat so you can be up to date from the outside on what they're telling us through the telecast. All right, Monique, and we'll definitely catch up afterwards, and we will talk about this tomorrow for sure. Cowboys say, when we win, I hope the crowd shouts out his name and shows DR some love. Yeah, sure. We can show him a standing ovation after the game, but he probably won't hang around for it. He'll probably run right out the door. And that's what I'm saying. Wayne is right. We do not need to be giving him a love fest today. This is all business. This is cutthroat. We need to beat the Bulls today. So don't fuck around, Raptors. Don't come casual. Don't come inconsistent. Come and show up the way you have at your very best this season. In some of the games, you've been absolutely fantastic, overwhelming, and overly talented, such a way that the other team doesn't have a chance. We need those Raptors tonight, because if you don't come that way, there's a good chance that you may not be playing anymore for the rest of the season. So this is it. This is it, guys. All lay it on the line and do it over and over again. Then get as far as you can. That's what we need from you guys. Kareem's here. Good to see Kareem Thomas. I've been suspended in air on a crane for the past 3 hours, and I'm more nervous about the game later. Fuck the Bulls. That is insane. Kareem is like either in a warehouse on a forklift or somewhere else, but this time he's up in the air on a crane. I don't know how high up he is or how scary it is, but he's more scared about the game tonight than his personal situation currently of him dangling somewhere in Toronto, somewhere from a building, I'm sure. Well, just be safe. And if you're listening to me up high, I'm scared of heights and I'm scared. Kareem, just be all right. Jeez, you're our dunk leader. We need you to be okay. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you enjoy the Raptor Freak channel, hopefully we got you set up for the game tonight in a good way and a good positive attitude. If you got to do some pregame rituals, do whatever you got to do to help this team win. I know I will do all the things that I normally do that help them win. So let's do it. Raptorize your day and do a good job. Bradley, do a great, fantastic painting job down there at Queen and Coxwell. And Kareem, please be careful up there on that crane. And Wayne Strainer, never change. I love your very hard edge on this situation. I like how you're acting. I want to be the same way right now. No mercy. No friends tonight. Nobody's friends. No, 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 no. We forget who you are, DeMar. You're just another number 11 on the Chicago Bulls. We don't know who you are, bro. We just want to beat you. We want to beat the hell out of you. We don't give a shit who you are. Jimmy Pope saying, hope they show those Raptor teeth. Let's go. Yes. And Isaac saying, W stream, touch grass. That's right. As Scottie would say, share the love and touch grass. Just don't share the love tonight on the court, Raptors. We want you to be very businessman-like and very, very, very much lunch pail. Clock in, go to work, get the job done, clock out, and go home and get ready for Friday. That's what I'm saying. All right, y'all. Let's go Raptors. This is it. If you guys don't win tonight, you guys are fucking done for the season. I want to have a reaction stream tomorrow that's fun with all my friends here, and we talk about all the fun, great things that you guys did last night to win the game. I don't want to be talking about they're out and we're done. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. So you guys take care of business and win this game tonight, Raptors. Let's go, Toronto. Woo! Woo!